You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM in HD1 San Francisco on Odyssey Sports Station. Always live on the free Odyssey app, Twitch, and YouTube. Powered by First NorCal Credit Union.
Good morning, Diarrhea!
It's time to wake up. It's 5, and we're live.
Oh, is this thing on? I don't care. I want him to hear.
This is the pregame show, your early morning shot of sports on 95.7 The Game. Come on!
Oh, we're so back. God, I miss this show. Week off. Had to get the mind right. Had to get a little tan. Get some sunshine. But now we're back. It's August 5th. Football's around the corner, baby. Yeah, I was watching the Hall of Fame game during vacation. You kidding me? I don't care if it was an exhibition against the Texans and the Bears. Players I'm never going to see again. I'm an American. That was the greatest action I saw all summer. That includes on the trip. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's a pregame show, Joe Spadoni. You got me for the next hour, all week long, right here on 95.7 The Game, setting the tone, baby. Because, again, this is a great time in Bay Area sports. I missed a lot. We're going to recap a little bit of it. We're going to get to what took place over the weekend. We got some news and updates regarding Brandon Aiyuk. Could he actually be traded just a couple weeks before the season? Well, maybe, just maybe. Matt Mayoko with, I'm not going to say a bombshell, but when Matt Mayoko of NBC Sports Bay Area, who covers the 49ers at an extremely high level, when he starts saying that, you know what, he thinks he's going to get traded, Brandon Aiyuk, that is, that's when I start listening. When Matt Mayoko says it. He has that sort of cachet. So we'll get into that. We'll get into the Giants, what they did do, what they didn't do last week. Well, they took another series. They haven't lost a series in, 3 now? They had that mini 2-game set, losing to the A's, and then coming back and beating them. So they split that 2-game set. And then they just took care of business against the Cincinnati Reds. And my guy, Tyler Fitzgerald, a.k.a. Barry Bonds, does it again.
High fly, left center. Steer watches, and that ball goes. The power surge continues for Fitzgerald, who launches his 11th of the year. And home runs continue to thunder the Giants' day. It is 5-2.
400-foot shot at 101 off the bat. Gets himself into a hitter's count, 3-1, gets challenged with that, and just drops barrel.
I believe that was via Roku. Yeah, I'm not sure the play-by-play voice. I think that was Javi Lopez on the color, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, you caught me. I didn't watch the entire game on the Roku channel because I don't have Roku. There's so many things that I don't need right now. And yes, I may have at times used an illegal stream. Don't do that, kids. It's bad. But there it is. Tyler Fitzgerald, another one, as DJ Khaled likes to say. Giants, 1 game under 500. Can they finally climb over? Can they get over 500? It feels like whenever they get to this spot, at or right below, they go on a little bit of a losing skid again. Can they flip this around now? Blake Snell, yeah, he set the tone for that trip, or I should say, for that trip in Cincinnati. I guess we just got to get into that. No hitter, man. And Blake Snell has just been absolutely on a tear as of late. So the Giants pitchers, Logan Webb on Wednesday, goes complete game shutout. And yes, I know it's redundant. You can just say he pitched a shutout, but it just sounds cooler when I say complete game shutout. And then Blake Snell does the same in no-hitter fashion. And let's just hear the final call of that, because why not? We're feeling good today.
First pitch to De La Cruz. He hits a fly ball, right center. Yastrzemski has it! And Blake Snell has pitched the first no-hitter of his brilliant career. in Cincinnati. And all the Giants are going to come together and celebrate. He did it.
What a moment for Blake Snell. What a moment for the Giants, but what a job by number 7 tonight. Had it all going. I mean, this guy, we talked about it all night long. He had the stuff. And just enjoy this moment right there as he's hugging the 18th no-hitter in Giants history. First one since Chris Heston, I believe.
Chris Heston, 2015.
God, Chris Heston. Now, if I'm going Obi-Wan Kenobi on that one, jeez.
Now, that's a name I've not heard in a long time.
I thought Chris Heston was going to be that guy for quite a while. He threw that no-hitter. I was like, man, the Giants just keep finding pitching and pitching and pitching. And then he wasn't that guy. It's a very fleeting industry when it comes to pitchers. They can be on top of the world and they can fall off. Just ask Alex Manoah out in Toronto about that. But Blake Snell, it's funny in a way. I was thinking about this when I was driving in this morning. I was like, do you think he cares more about getting just a win under his belt than the actual no-hitter? Yeah, that was his first logged win of the season. It's August 5th, folks. That was Blake Snell's first win of the year. And in his last 7 games, check this out. 1.73 ERA, 41 2/3 innings pitched, 18 hits, 8 earned runs, 15 walks, 55 strikeouts, a sub-1 whip at .79. And that's a Cy Young right there. That is what a Cy Young, that is what an ace looks like. And that is what he has looked like. In his last 3 games, just go there. He's got 21 innings under his belt. Last 3 starts. Only 6 hits given up. And he's got 30 Ks. His last 3 starts alone. Cincinnati, Colorado, Dodgers. All teams with, different expectations at this point. Cincinnati, kind of a middling team still. Colorado stinks. And the Dodgers are good. They're good, not great. I saw that series against the A's this week. A's could have won that series. They didn't because the A's aren't a good team. They can mash. But I'm looking at this Giants team right now. And do I think they're going to go on some sort of magical run here? No, I don't. But I am encouraged about the pitching. Now, I was even more encouraged yesterday when they finally put up a 5 spot in that 8th inning, when they're finally swinging the bat. And they've been mashing it. They've been hitting that home run in Cincinnati. Can it carry over now against the Nationals? Well, we're going to find out. Because that's, again, this is where the Giants have been. They've clawed their way back. They're a game under 500. And yes, that is a mental hurdle to get over as a team. Whether it's in football, whether it's in basketball, whether it's in baseball. Getting over 500 is psychological more than anything for a clubhouse. That's when you start to believe, okay, I can at least say we're a good team if we've won more games than we've lost. It's as simple as that. You look at a team like the Arizona Diamondbacks, defending NL champions, 60-52. San Diego Padres, 61-52. And that's what's kind of demoralizing in all this a little bit. You're playing pretty good ball right now, and you really haven't made up a lot of ground. Why? Padres and Diamondbacks have been pretty damn good. Both 8-2 in their last 10. Jazz been 7-3. Them the break sometimes. The Braves, 6-4 the last 10. Dodgers have been scuffling. Dodgers all of a sudden. Could the Padres win that division? Yes, absolutely they can. Now, they've obviously had the Mookie Betts injury to deal with. Freddie Freeman, I know he's been dealing with some personal stuff in his life. His son, who is doing better, Max, very scary situation happening with him. He's going to have to learn to walk again. He had a very rare disease that was diagnosed over the last week, and he had to be with his family. So prayers up, and I'm glad that Max is doing better for the Freeman family. It's a very scary situation. Never want to see anyone go through that, let alone a little child. So thoughts out to the Freeman family there, but they're scuffling. They need Freddie back as soon as possible. They need pitching bad. They saw me for that before. The Dodgers need pitching. But then you look at the Phillies, they're still a class, even though they've been struggling too. 2-8 in their last 10. Brew Crew, steady all year long. 13 games over. I think they have the biggest division lead right now, I want to say, in that NL Central. But then you got that logjam in front of the Giants too. Pirates, game over 500. You got the Cardinals, 2 games over. Then you got the Mets. Yes, the Mets, 5 games over. They're not going anywhere right now. And you look at the run differential still. And I know it's not the end-all, be-all. And 888-957-9570. That's the number to call or text the Xfinity mobile text line. Also hit me up on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. All powered by First NorCal Credit Union. Go ahead and search 95.7 The Game on any of those platforms. Like, subscribe. You can also follow me on Twitter, X, whatever the hell you want to call it, at Spadoni_Joe. Give me a follow. Come on. Give me to 1,000 people. I'm knocking on the door 900. I need 1,000. Yes, I'm insecure enough to say that. Come on. I need it. But I'm watching this team over the weekend. I was like, that's the recipe for success for the Giants. And no, it's not going 9 innings. And by the way, I don't really care about the no-hitter anymore. I don't know if that's a hot take these days. You've heard me on these airwaves say it. The no-hitter does nothing for me anymore. It might do something for the clubhouse still. That's great. That's all that really matters. But as a casual viewer, as just a fan of baseball, it's lost its shine. I mean, the amount of combined no-hitters we've had, and there's still something to be said, is Blake Snell. His stuff was just filthy. He had a couple walks. But I don't know. Maybe, am I alone on that one? 888-957-9570. The perfect game is the one. I mean, just not allowing a base runner is just next level dominance, but that also takes a little bit of luck sometimes too. Who did it last year to the A's? Domingo Germán. You gotta find a crappy team sometimes. I remember Gabe Kapler for the Rays was the last out in Dallas Braden's back in 2010. God, 14 years ago. Scary. From the Xfinity mobile text line, the Giants are starting to pick it up. It's from the 650. Can they finally get over 500, though? If they can't, snooze fest heading into September and late August. That's kind of where we're at. They have an opportunity to seize our attention. Football hasn't started up fully yet. We're still talking about off-the-field drama and Brandon Aiyuk, and don't worry, we will get to that. What Matt Mayoko said yesterday in regards to Brandon Aiyuk's potential future in San Francisco. But the Giants have an opportunity right now. If they could just go on a little bit of a run here, they can capture the attention of San Francisco. Albeit, hey, we just need to be entertained for the next couple weeks. Get me to like preseason football, which is what, next weekend? What's the Niners preseason schedule looking like? Schedule. There we go. Saturday, we got Titans. Okay. Will Levis season? We're not going to see anyone play. Maybe we'll see. We're going to see Slick Rick. Are we going to see any first round? Who are we going to see? Who do we need to see in the preseason? We'll get into that as the week goes on. Remember last year? It was the most important preseason in 49ers history. And it sounds absurd saying stuff like that, but it really was. When you just take a step back, take a deep breath, last off season, or I guess you say training camp, was just so much more toxic compared to this season. Yeah, we can try to like make some stuff. We can try to generate some buzz here with the Brandon Aiyuk stuff, but nothing tops Sam Darnold looking good one day, Trey Lance looking good another day, Brock Purdy's elbow. Is he okay? Is Brock Purdy, is he legit? I don't know. It's a serious injury. NFC Championship game. How many games did he start? A handful? I don't know. Is it for real? It was just so much. You invested all this draft capital in Trey Lance. We need to see what we got. If he doesn't work out, Kyle Shanahan needs to be fired. It was just disgusting, the amount of just non-storylines it ended up being. It's the amount of threads and stuff that we wasted on last season prior to the season starting is hilarious in hindsight. And compare it to this offseason, this just feels tamed. I mean, what's the biggest storyline? Seriously, Brandon Aiyuk, okay, that's a big one. It's kind of like the last big domino potentially to fall before the start of the regular season in the NFL. I mean, if you're just looking at the landscape of everything else. And by the way, the latest rumor I saw believe it was from Cleveland.com's Mary Kay Cabot. Been covering the team for a very long time, the Cleveland Browns, that is. Amari Cooper restructuring his contract as an unrestricted free agent after this season. Could he potentially be in a trade package for Brandon Aiyuk that nets Aiyuk over in Cleveland? Interesting. Coop back to the Bay? I started thinking about that. Not the craziest thing. Amari Cooper, skill set wise, I mean, I can't think of anyone that's more comparable to Brandon Aiyuk. I mean, 6'1", great hands, elite route runner, very healthy throughout most of his career. When you saw him here in Oakland, model of consistency. Yeah, he had a little bit of the dropsies early on, those intermediate routes. But I mean, if you're just trying to get a guy that replicates him, yes, you would want Devontae Adams. Full stop right there. I don't think the Raiders are trading him. Not with the dead cap situation there. But for Amari Cooper, I should say, it makes a lot of sense. Now, if you're the Browns, you probably have to send a draft pick along with that. And are you doing that, Niners fans? If it's, let's say, Amari Cooper and a third-round pick for Brandon Aiyuk, and maybe I'll give you a second. Sure. Just Amari Cooper and a second-round pick. Let's just bump it up there. You doing that? 888-957-9570. I think I am. I'm not even thinking twice about it. Apparently, there was a big bro hug going on over last weekend. And no, it wasn't LeBron James and Stephen Curry, although we'll get to Team USA basketball, who are playing against Brazil today, right? Yeah. Okay. It's quarterfinals. We'll see what they got. I think they're like 20-point favorites. They should have it in the bag. Who's playing for Team Brazil? Who's out there? Is Thiago Splitter still playing there? Team Brazil men's basketball roster. Trying to see. Ogie Santos. Let's go. That's the only, I kid you not, only name I can actually recognize. That's only because he's a Warrior. Anyone outside of the Warriors bubble, no one knows who any of these people are. Wait, Marcelo Huertas. How old is that guy? He's 41? I kind of remember that name. Yeah, he was a Laker for a hot second. That's right. There we go. Oh, man. Yeah. Draymond Green had some stuff to say about Team USA's coaching. Yeah. We'll get into that too. Draymond Green just the gift that keeps on giving when it comes to sports talk. Thank you, buddy. But bro hug. Back to the bro hugs. Guys, big bro hug. Kyle Shanahan, Brandon Aiyuk last week. What did it mean, Kyle?
This is usually how we greet each other, honestly. You guys would see maybe a lot more hugs if we had it filmed for you guys, but we're not on Hard Knocks, so it's the only one on the field. You haven't been on the field a lot, and we walk by each other, and it's usually how we greet each other. Bro hug. Nothing more, nothing less.
Bro hug. Nothing more, nothing less. I kind of want that as just a drop. Just that's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Just a hug. All right? There you go. Brandon Aiyuk, for the first time in a long time, it feels like he is going to be traded. It does. Why? This is what Matt Miyoko had to say. As I pull it up now, because I can't find it on the interwebs. I can only find it on my phone via text form. That's all right. I'm a millennial. I'm used to this stuff. All right. Here's what he had to say yesterday via Matt Miyoko, who, again, covers the team at a very high level. Talk about quarterback play. We talk about elite level. That's what Matt Miyoko is when it comes to covering this team. Quote, "It appears more likely than ever that the 49ers are willing to make a trade. It might be up to Aiyuk to determine the next move." So what does that mean? Does that mean he has his say of where he wants to go? And the 49ers are just, talking to a couple teams and you're saying, hey, Brandon, we want to do right by you. We want you to get your money. These guys are going to offer that money, but is there a certain situation that you would like more than others? Could it be Cleveland? Could it be Vegas? Those are just hypotheticals for me. But is there one that you would prefer? I mean, once it starts getting to that, that's when it's, wow, this is actually happening. August 5th. I thought we were already at the point of no return when it came to just him playing this next season. I get it. He's still holding out or holding in, whatever the hell you want to call it. Holding in, technically, because he's not getting fined. But at this point, you just keep him, right? He's going to play. He's going to miss out on money. Like, he's just going to play. Right? I mean, is Ricky Pearsall in a week already looking that amazing? It's kind of crazy. Now, I don't think it's that wild that they're going to move off of him. It's just that the timing of all this is just kind of head-scratching to me. I mean, do it sooner rather than later, right? You don't let this thing linger and linger and linger. You had to have known he had his number and you had yours. And yes, you have been the winner, quote unquote, in most of these deals. Whether it was Bosa, whether it was Kittle, whether it was Fred Warner, whether it was Deebo Samuel. Hell, it's Trent Williams going to get paid before him. We know Chris McCaffrey got paid before him. George Odom got paid before him. Juwan Jennings got paid before him. Is the number that different now where it's just, yeah, no chance this is happening? Because that's what it feels like. Speaking of Ricky Pearsall, because if he does get truly traded, Brandon Aiyuk, that's the heir apparent. And we should have seen the writing on the wall all along when they drafted a wide receiver in the first round and that he was going to be the future piece. Kyle Shanahan on Pearsall's progress.
It's been great to, always it's tough when you have a hammy and you got to be very smart getting him back. We've eased him in. He's gone through that real well. He's been real diligent with his rehab and stuff. And I know his reps went up a little bit more today, but it was a low day overall. And I think tomorrow will be a much bigger challenge. It's a higher practice. We got one-on-ones tomorrow. But I've been real happy with his progress so far.
So Ricky Pearsall progressing. Yes, the hamstring, that concerns me. Soft tissue of any young guy concerns me because why? Those guys want to prove themselves. They want to be out there. They want to help. And sometimes they will do whatever it takes to try to get back on that field, even if it means hurting them down the line. So you got to protect guys like that from themselves. And Herm Edwards, who coached Slick Rick Pearsall out of Arizona State, forks up, talked to Willard and Dibbs and basically said, yeah, he needs to be protected from himself sometimes. He is a very hard worker, but to a fault sometimes. So Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch must realize that, and they're taking it slow and steady with him. And that's the right approach. And I mentioned Trent Williams earlier, and he still wants his contract. He's still holding out. Kyle, updates on either Aiyuk or Trent's contracts?
Where things stand with that? I mean, is it still stalemate? Any progress?
Yeah, no updates. Same with Trent.
There you go. No updates. No updates. 888-957-9570. That's the number to call or text the Xfinity Mobile text line. Good morning to all you lovely people. It's a pregame show. Joe Spadoni. You got me for the next 38 minutes. Had the week off. Did a RV park. And it wasn't like an RV park. When you think about it, it was like in just bum blank nowhere. It was actually a very nice, it's called Flying Flags down at Avila Beach near Slow. And just the views were absolutely outrageous. Right on the coast, right near the beach. It was breathtaking. That being said, I'm not cut out for the RV lifestyle. There's Bougie Bonte, our host Bonte, he likes to say Bougie Bonte. Yeah, I'm kind of similar with that. I don't like camping. I don't really like glamping either, being in the outdoors. I'm not a big inside the RV guy. The wife's family is, so, that's what you do for the missus and for the family and for the in-laws. You put all that aside. You just, enjoy yourself. And I did for the most part. The kids liked it. That's great. It's just not for me. I had Wi-Fi. That was great. That's what I needed. Anywhere I'm at, I need the Wi-Fi. I'm not one of those people that, I just need to get away from it all. No. Me tapped in at all times. Yeah, there is a big FOMO epidemic when it comes to the millennials of this world. Hell, I don't even know what the hell what generation we're on after the millennials, XYZ, LMNOP, I don't know. But the millennials, we have a big FOMO problem. Fear of missing out, baby. And no, I wasn't missing out on anything. In fact, the guys are probably tired of me chiming in. They're probably like, hey, Spadoni, just leave the chat, dude. Go to check out. Well, I was in the chat because I don't want to do anything else except lay down in the sun and get baked, all right? Although, I did smash a lot of Mexican food when I was down there. It was delicious. God, right now, at 5:30 a.m., I can go for a breakfast burrito right now. Carter knows what I'm talking about. He's behind the glass. Carter holding it down today. Sam Lubman out. Carter in. He was holding it down last week as well. Were you in for me all week, Carter? Oh, yeah, he's crushing it. Come on. No more F-bombs, right? Okay, we're good. We've learned. We're learning, people. Let's go. No, he's pumped up. He's wearing his 49ers beanie. Are Niners fans pumped up about this season, though? Where you at, Niner fans? 888-957-9570. The 49ers going to regret, if and when it happens, are they going to regret trading Brandon Aiyuk? Or at this point, is it best just to move on? 888-957-9570. That's the number to call or text the Xfinity Mobile text line. And again, we are streaming all day long, 5 a.m. through 7 p.m. Yeah, because you got the Grandy Man, 6 to 7, best of the game. All right here, Monday through Friday, 95.7 the game. And we got best, not the best, we have Saturdays on the game too. Was that 9 to 1? We had Giddings and Lubman. I wasn't mad at that. It was a fun show. And they got Dave Fleming on, if you missed that entire interview. Our very own Dave Fleming, our 95.7 the game Giants insider who joins the morning roast every week, joined Sam and Evan Saturday morning. Find that entire interview on YouTube. Search 95.7 the game, like, subscribe there. You can find all of those. Also, you can find it on the free Odyssey app. Yeah, Odyssey app's awesome. It's free, first of all. And that already makes it awesome. But you can find thousands, hundreds, I'm not going to say millions because I don't know, but thousands, podcast, radio stations, whatever you want. They have it there. If you're into food, or if you're a foodie, if you're into interior design, if you're into aliens, if you're into surfing, if you're into the Olympics, watching men's beach volleyball right now, and the attire, I should say, from the men's side compared to the female side, it's totally different. Beach volleyball. There you go. Swimming, it's damn near the same. But beach volleyball, we got to wear. The men's wear baggy stuff. See, that's where it's interesting. Shouldn't they be wearing tighter stuff too for the drag? I don't know. I don't know anything about this. 888-957-9570. We'll try to figure it out. It's a pregame show, Joe Spadoni. We're rolling on 95.7 the game.
Dub Nation, this is Tim Roy, and you're listening to the pregame show on 95.7 The Game.
Next question.
Don't ever talk about the Patriots like that.
Don't worry, we're on YouTube. I promise. Yeah, last 7 minutes. That's all right. It's Monday. We're fine. Are we allowed to play Drake again? I just did. I think I played 2 Drake songs today. Is that okay? Or am I gonna get canned next? Kendrick, please don't come at me. My life isn't that exciting for you to do that. Please don't. I don't want the smoke. I can't handle it. I'm not afraid to admit that. I want Kendrick Lamar doing a diss track of you? No chance. None. Oh, come on, USA. You got to come back against Norway. Come on, beach volleyball. Come on. We're better than this. Evans and Budinger. I don't know who these guys are. It's all right. Just get patriotic. Like, I don't know how many people are actually watching the Olympics. I think they are. I keep getting people that just telling me it's just been great coverage on Peacock, on NBC. They've been doing a hell of a job. The only low light was yesterday on the men's 100 meters race. And who was my guy that won it? It was talking that talk and said the NBA isn't actually world champions. There's champions of America. Noah Lyles gets the gold by a 0.005 of a second. So 0.005 of a second, I should say. Shout out English and grammar. People pumped for that? You all excited? Like, what are the sports that really pump us up in America? We do love track and field, so I'll say that. We got our shot putter guy that's gone back to back to back for the gold. The men's side, just an absolute beast. Let's go. We love swimming. Katie Ledecky. Obviously, Michael Phelps for all those years. Who was that prior to Phelps? Spitz? Was that diving? Was that swimming? But we love those. We love basketball. Men's and women's side. We love that. Am I missing a sport that we really, truly, it's just like, oh, we need it. Speed walking? I don't think that's in there. Golf? Scheffler, though, that was captivating. You saw what it meant for him. Scotty Scheffler coming from behind in the last round to capture the gold and make sure that America goes back-to-back in the gold. Xander Schauffele kind of fell off. He was the co-leader heading into the final round. Didn't happen, but those were the 2 best golfers all year long. And it's going to be very interesting to see who ends up getting that kind of golfer of the year, whatever that award is, between Scheffler and Xander Schauffele. Maybe the FedEx Cup will kind of determine that. But what's captivating people right now? And I'm not talking about all the other nonsense, all the other people where people are telling on themselves, not knowing proper pronouns, this, that. Like actual sports. What's captivating right now? 888-957-9570. Because we talked Brandon Aiyuk. We've talked Blake Snell, the Giants, and they're going to try to keep it rolling against the Washington Nationals. I'm going to play something for you that, I know it's become commonplace to just kind of tune Draymond out, but I think we all need to listen to this. And no, Draymond Green is not in France. He is not part of Team USA. He is not on the squad. He is just #new media, as he likes to say. And this is what he had to say in regards to Jason Tatum not starting and not playing a couple games ago, and basically just calling out Steve Kerr, Eric Spoelstra, Mark Few, and the entire Team USA staff. Take a listen.
No one's looking at the minutes like, oh, this guy played less. Like I said to JT, no, when you win a gold medal, no one cares who scored the points. No one cares who played the minute. Did you win a gold medal or did you not? That's what it boils down to. Did you win a gold medal? Did you not? However, You don't not play Jason Tatum. That man just won NBA championship, cover of NBA 2K, cover of Sports Illustrated saying cheers. Just signed the biggest contract in NBA history. Oh, and by the way, your reward is sit down and don't play in the first Olympic game. So I totally disagree with that. And as I said, just from the outside looking in, it just comes off as like we made a mistake as a coaching staff, as opposed to just the mistake that we made. This is what it is and moving on. You now combat it with, all right, now this guy ain't playing. JT goes from out of the starting lineup, out of the rotation at all, 0 minutes to the starting lineup. That don't make him feel good. Because then it's like, oh, this is the story. Now I'm all of a sudden in the starting lineup. I'm Jason Tatum. It's almost like, oh, I'm giving you this so you don't feel bad. Like, that don't make him feel good. It actually, I'm sure it probably made him feel worse about it. Like, oh, now I'm starting. And so I just disagree with what's going on with the lineup stuff. Like, get the lineups, lock the lineups in, lock the rotations in. We know who start, we know who we go, and go with it. But somebody else in the lineup today, Nuke got him. Again, we're good enough to get away with it because we're just more superior than everyone. Team USA basketball, best in the world, bar none, no question. So we get away with it. But just because we get away with it don't make it right. And I think it's wrong. I totally disagree with it, but we 3-0.
Okay. A lot to unpack there. Draymond Green disagrees with Jason Tatum not starting. Well, you know what? You should know better than anyone else, Draymond. Steve Kerr does not care about who starts and who finishes. He doesn't. He's trying to win the game. This is different. This isn't 82 games in the regular season. They have a handful of games, and then they got do or die scenarios. He's going to go matchup based against all of these countries. And Jason Tatum wasn't the guy that time. And he was the next one. Why? Different countries, different people, different set of circumstances. It's really that simple. I don't know what's so difficult about all this. And it's not a slight to Jason Tatum. Hey, congratulations. You just won the finals. And guess what? Jason Tatum wasn't even the best player on his own team during the finals. What are we doing? It was Jaylen Brown. He won finals MVP. He was the best player. Oh, I just think it's disrespectful. No, it's not. Not when LeBron James, Stephen Curry, Anthony Davis, guys like that are starting in front of you. Oh, Devin Booker's still one of the best players in the league. Oh, but Drew Holiday's still one of the best defenders and two-way players in the game. What are we doing? So yeah, he didn't start that game. He didn't play. Made him all the more fresher the next game when he did start, and they did need him. And now he looks great. When he just have a double-double against Puerto Rico? Yeah, he's probably feeling great. No one cares who starts, who finishes. Like, he even shot down his own argument with all that. He said, it bothered me, but it doesn't matter. So which one is it? It doesn't matter, but it bothers you? Like, at the end of the day, as you just said, Draymond, no one's going to care if you got the Olympic medal and you played 20 minutes or 10 minutes or 5 minutes. You won. Like, you think Derek White cares? And Derek White's getting a lot of playing time. Why? Because he knows his role and he buys into it. Not to say that Jason Tatum doesn't, but that's just what it is. It's just matchup based. That whole argument to me was just nonsense. It's just, and by the way, it's one thing if you're calling out Team USA and it was Greg Popovich or Mike Krzyzewski, Coach K. Like, it's one thing if you do that. Draymond, that's your actual head coach. That's the guy you've won 4 championships with. And he's aware of that. Like, he's fully cognizant of Steve Kerr being that guy. And yet he still goes out of his way through the media, #new media, to clown on him. After the amount of time, like the amount of times Steve Kerr has gone to bat for Draymond Green. Would it kill Draymond to do it just once for Steve Kerr? Just once. Come on. We're really getting mad about the Jason Tatum thing. I just thought that whole thing was just foolish. It was foolish. It's just getting outraged to get outraged. Is it slow news month for you, Draymond? I don't know. I mean, it's August 5th. We're going to see with Lauri Markkanen and what decision he's going to make. If he makes his decision, but tomorrow's the deadline. If he signs tomorrow, then he can get traded, I should say, through next season if he signs an extension. But if he doesn't sign, so if August 7th hits and he still hasn't signed, then he cannot get traded this upcoming season. So you would essentially take him out of the running there. So where does that leave the Warriors if no Markkanen? Do they pivot? Do they just stick with what they got? I would assume they stick with what they got, but do you pivot to Brandon Ingram? Is Zach LaVine back on the table? I'm not sure. I don't think it's as simple as, I'm going to go get this player just to go get this player. I think Markkanen would be a fit. I think the Warriors have zeroed him in. I think Mike Dunleavy has zeroed in on him being a fit for this team. I don't know if Brandon Ingram is a fit. I don't know if Zach LaVine is a fit. So if they put all their eggs in this basket and they come up empty-handed, then I think you just stick with what you got. And is that good enough? No, it's not good enough to win a title. Is it good enough to be a playoff team? Maybe. But I know a lot of Warriors fans are going to be pissed off when that happens. And again, I'm here to tell you, I don't know how much better they would be. They would be better, but I don't know if we're talking championship contenders still, even if you get Lauri Markkanen and it costs you Kuminga, Moody, and potentially Brandon Podziemski as well. But Pod seems to be the sticking point in all this, according to reports. And that, again, I like what Brandon Podziemski did last year. I don't know if I see a perennial all-star attached to his name. I just don't. Maybe a one-time all-star, maybe like a Lauri Markkanen. Maybe. Just maybe. I've had a lot of fun today. We're up against it. Start lining them up. 888-957-9570. Bonte Hill, Joe Shasky, Carter in the back. I'll be on the board. We're going to have fun today, man. We got Niners to talk about. We got Giants playing better, only a game under. And again, Lauri Markkanen day tomorrow. And I'm sure they will get into what Draymond Green had to say about Team USA basketball. All that and more coming up next. Morning Roast. Have a good week, everybody.